This is Matthew Cratter from Trader University, and today I want to talk about Bitcoin crashing below 30,000. Those of you who have wanted a time machine, who wanted to get back to where we were at the beginning of 2021 and felt like you missed that breakout, we're back down here roughly where we were trading on December 31st of 2020 and January 1st of 2021. I should say, obviously I haven't sold any Bitcoin and I've actually been buying more this morning. I'm not selling here. I'm not selling at 20,000. I'm not selling at 10,000. I'm also not selling at a million. That being said, I don't think we get down to 20,000, but Bitcoin is very volatile. It does what it does. And if you're in this for the long term, if you understand the protocol, you have to understand that this is not something that you trade using stop losses. The amazing thing about Bitcoin, in spite of all the volatility, etc., in spite of being kicked out of China, Bitcoin continues to trade. There are no circuit breakers as we have in the stock market. There are no lock limit downs as we have in the futures market. There's not an emergency Fed meeting. Bitcoin is truly a free market that trades 24/7. You can say that it's manipulated by whales, that they're trying to press it down, etc. I don't really think this is true. I think it's a free market where buyers and sellers meet. That being said, if whales are trying to press it down, if you actually believe this, then what they're doing is they're making it cheaper, not just for themselves, but also for you. A lot of people use the whale argument as an argument not to buy, but I think it works against you in that way. It's very important on days like this to remember that hodling is hard. Bitcoin has returned about 200% annually on average compounded, and this is not without volatility. If it were easy, everyone could do it. If you were in the early days and Bitcoin crashed from 100 down to 50 or down to 30, this is very equivalent to what we've been feeling in the last couple months. And this is why I focus so much of my channel on educating you about Bitcoin. If you're going to be in it for the long haul, you have to be in it for more than the price or for more than short-term price expectations. It's very important to invest only in what you understand, to do your own research, and to know what you own. My channel is an open book on why I only like Bitcoin, why I'm not a fan of Ethereum or DeFi built on Ethereum, and I'm certainly not a fan of things like Doge or XRP or Cardano or really any of these other cryptocurrencies. And if you own these, I feel sorry for you unless you've really done your research. But if you've really done your research, then obviously you're never going to own something like XRP, a highly centralized currency whose parent company is being sued by the SEC. But it's very important to know what you own, especially on times like this. And that way, that gives you the calm, that gives you the peace to be able to hold through this kind of volatility. A few reminders that I've always been talking about, but obviously don't use leverage with Bitcoin. It's volatile enough using a one-to-one allocation without leverage. You've got to size the position right for your own financial situation and not do it based on someone else's financial situation. This is why I don't disclose how much, what percentage of my net worth is in Bitcoin, though it's a very large percentage, because I don't feel like people should try to match that. If you're someone like Michael Saylor, for example, you could be worth $1 billion and you could have 99% of your net worth in Bitcoin. You'd be fine if Bitcoin went to zero. But if your if your net worth is 100,000, you probably shouldn't have 99% of your net worth in Bitcoin. I like to tell people, I can't remember who invented this phrase, sell down to the sleeping point. It's a famous trader phrase or investor phrase that if you have too much, if a position size is too large and it's keeping you up at night, you should slowly reduce it until it's at the point where you can actually get sleep at night. There's no point going through life scared out of your wits and having positions that are too large for what you can handle. Also, obviously, if you understand Bitcoin, if you understand what's going to happen with Bitcoin for the next decade, you don't want to be glued to your screen, especially on days like this. It really raises your cortisol levels, raises your stress levels. And if you really and truly do have a 10-year time horizon, you don't want to keep checking the price every 5 minutes. It really is very bad for your brain. It doesn't make any sense. We're obviously very close to the bottom of the 2 standard deviations of the stock to flow model of Plan Bs. He's also has an on-chain floor indicator, which says that we should not be below 47,000 by the end of August. We'll see if the stock to flow model is able to hold and whether his on-chain model is also able to hold. This is a proprietary model. He doesn't disclose, but he does say that everything still looks bullish for Bitcoin. His worst case scenario, based on this on-chain model, August needs to close above 47,000, September above 43,000, October, these are all 2021 months obviously, October above 63,000, November above 98,000, and December above 135,000. So we really have these two models. We have the stock to flow model, or there are a couple of stock to flow models, and then we have his on-chain model. And this has really been the strange thing. We're so far below the model price on many of these. This is very similar to what happened in March of 2020, when everything crashed simultaneously. That's this point right here where we're at the lower band. So we'll see if we stay down here, if we bounce, and we'll see. Even if this model is invalidated, I still am not going to sell my Bitcoin. I think that models come and go. I still think this is a good model, and it will probably hold. But when you really understand Bitcoin and how it's this software protocol that just keeps chugging along, slowly eating up the world, just as software is devouring the world, then you understand the long-term case for it. I wanted to bring out this chart again from Myrmicon Research showing the price of gold priced in Weimar Reichsmarks. This was the Weimar Republic between the two world wars. And as their currency was collapsing, you had tremendous volatility in the stock market and in the price of gold. Gold ended up going, however much this is, a billion times or something like that. And but along the way, huge drawdowns, and there was a lot of volatility. I think we're seeing something similar with Bitcoin as digital gold. Again, Bitcoin, the system is fine. It keeps cranking out one new block every 10 minutes or so. The protocol consensus rules are still being enforced by the full nodes. There's still a full cap of max supply of 21 million Bitcoin. Bitcoin just got kicked out of China over the last couple months, but Bitcoin doesn't care. It keeps moving along. And the backdrop is still very, very beneficial to Bitcoin. Here's a great tweet from Dan Tapiero showing at the bottom panel, we have the U.S. government debt to GDP, which is as high as it's been in a generation. It really hasn't been, this ratio hasn't been this high since World War II. And then at the top, we have Fed funds rate, which is really a short-term interest rate that's set by the central bank in the U.S., set by the Federal Reserve, minus the consumer price index, which definitely understates inflation. But even with this, we can see that Fed funds is being kept lower than the CPI. And what this is doing is this is a way of inflating away the debt in real time. You try to keep interest rates below the inflation rate. And in this way, bondholders get hurt and the currency is devalued, but the government finds a way out of its debt. In these sort of situations, just like in the Weimar Republic, you want to own gold. And today, you want to own digital gold, the newest form of money, the best form of money, the hardest form of money that's ever existed, that has a fixed supply cap, that is divisible, that's easy to send over long distances, that's much easier to verify than gold, etc. All these reasons we talk about Bitcoin on my channel. So I know days like this are difficult. Just hang in there and use this time to focus on education. Maybe watch a few of my old YouTube videos. And rather than engaging your reptile limbic system, engage your prefrontal cortex. Watch videos, continue your education on Bitcoin. And if you own another coin, good luck to you. You better find someone who understands it. And you got to be very careful what you own, obviously, so that you're able to sleep and sleep at night and not be in terror during the day when you get drawdowns like this. I'm very comfortable with Bitcoin here, as I said, and I'll continue to buy more today. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that subscribe and like button. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I publish my next video. And let me know your questions and comments in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.